I don't know everything, but it's coming in slow, slow, but inevitable, because that's what I was kind of informed that would happen. But I went through a cram course, so talking about the interfacing system that is the English alphabet sent from benevolent beings that live in outer space. I've just been getting downloads through contemplation. Can't really explain it. And in order to tap into the keys and work the math, well, for me, I move into a trance. It's a wonderful feeling. So it must be something that I'm doing to anesthetize myself. No. I would love to make an audiobook about that specific experience when I woke up out of astral travel, and now I can get into the scene that I went through in astral travel. But it's so really hard to explain, really. But the scene, of course, just go through it like a cartoon or something. But what I would like to do is try and figure out, when did this all happen and where. Like, at the time, and there's a story behind it. There's a life behind, leading up to the astral travel and the downloads, and what is still going on to this day for me. Further learning some things that is taking time to be able to understand. And see, this is the thing, is my teacher, my physical teacher, is what I call him. He's somebody who I just met, and he said, no, this is what you're looking at. It's real. It is true. And it's been turned to weaponry. And he was on this really negative trip about it. And yes, there's that. But I went back to him about the upper spectrum trip about it, which is nothing but good news. And I lost him right there. And I lost him with a lot of things. See, when I went on the astral travel, I have some videos when it was happening, like, because it was I lost track of time, but it was in March, and it was around, I remember, keep looking at it, it was from around about the 8th to the 12th or 13th or 15th or something last year in 2021, a couple years ago. I kept going through, I would say, being visited by whoever it is that was just showing me so much. I learned so much about how we breathe, how to breathe, and the rhythms that we can do breathing, that, well, you have to do them. If you're doing a physically exhilarating thing, the point is that you can be like 6 times stronger and more, stronger. if you learn these kind of things, like it's just to me, okay, so it's resonation, but it's resonating with the truth, but one of them is how to breathe, you know, and it's very rhythmic. These people, the universe or whoever it is, that is really cool. They talk about astral travel and possible alien abduction, and that's what it would sound like if I told you about it, but really, the energy that I went up on, um, to move into this place where there were a lot of people, of all races, to tell you the truth. And I'm pretty sure my mom was there and all these other people that, and even people that were still alive here, but they're in another dimension. They're in the same place, like I was. So they lifted me up with this rhythm, and I can get into it now, but I don't want to go crazy on it because, well, I'm a musician, and I know what music is. I mean, it is a medicine, and you can't talk enough about that fact right there, how it's healing us. And then, with just pure rhythm, they taught me, a lot of things, and particularly my name, intergalactically, uh, just a very mathematic thing. This is a technology where here basically, your body is very much like a PC kind of thing, and so I'm here. From what I understand, and it's probably the same with a lot of people, yeah, that we are living multidimensionally. I'm in another dimension somewhere else, kind of a thing. Like, let's talk about that knock on the wall. Anyway, getting back to, I wanted to stay on the track of the experience of the astral travel and being around all of these entities that seemed to have stretched for miles. But I was introduced to a tribe, and I don't want to get specific right now because I don't want to get too, like, racial or anything. But they live on the earth here now. It's a civilization that lives on this earth, and they maintain this frequency, through. It's very, very benevolent. It's extraterrestrial. I mean, if you want to talk about it, like I said, benevolent beings from outer space. So these guys are in simple contact with it. I say simple because it's just like it's been here for trillions of years, well, thousands of years, and we've seen decline of civilization, right? We've seen just, we were talking about catastrophes that has taken away our ability that we had as far as our technologies and whatever we were doing then. Um, and it's hard to tell if that was a natural disaster or not. We're talking about there's warfare happening. So anyway, getting back to this experience and being, the downloads that I got and the experience. So I have these recordings that they're very personal, and it's really weird because it was in the middle of snowstorms up here where I live, and um, I'm pretty sure I was being visited also. It was interdimensionally, but it was coming through into the room, and um, I was shown. I wasn't handling it by the time. Like I said, it was from, March 8th to about 12th or the 15th or something. Um, with hardly any sleep, no food at all, no drinking either. It was weird, and I smoke weed a lot, and I didn't smoke any weed at all. Going through this thing, so intense, and at one point, I'm thinking my physical body cannot handle, of course, not eating, not sleeping, not drinking, not smoking, because I happen to have at the time, and I still kind of do, but each year is different. I have, every day in the mountains. I have a disciplined life. you can't just sleep on it. You can't rest on your loins. You have to get out. I have chickens to feed, and I have things to take care of there, and then I have to make sure the wood is all blah blah, and in and um, fix myself some food and stuff. So this stuff kind of became complicating like about day 6, and I was just in full contact with this thing. And I remember they fully restored me. I prayed and said, please, would you please give me a break? This is really amazing. I was so excited at one point to go to sleep. Because each time I went to sleep, I was visiting. It wasn't as tense as the very first liftoff, but I was visited, and they were telling me about these simple things. And I'm laughing now because each time I got an insight and I got the message, I would just pop up out of bed and I would try to work it on the typewriter. There were some things I missed at the very end that all I know that I noticed, getting back to the beginning at 11:11, I was falling into trance. I was falling into trance, and and it was showing me, oh God, babes. In between this time, I'm noticing that our iPhones, are monitoring our activity. Of course, you know that, right? But it's intergalactically. Babes, I learned so much. I don't want to branch off into to all the things that I've just been crammed with, and it's still processing, ongoing information that I gotta I gotta write a book or do audiobook or something about it. But I don't want to sound. I mean, sure, just science fiction. Hope you like the story so far. So just trying to get back to how the downloads that were so intense that when I learned about the R rule, they were telling me how very important it was, how it was related to the reptilian. And so it's very important. It was so interesting. The math, it was so interesting. I popped up out of bed again. I was just so excited. And I think I kept fucking up. They really like me, but I'm just way too energetic and like immature, I guess. Yeah, and ignorant. I'm an Aries rising. But they love me. I love me too, I guess. And so we were there and doing that and trying to work together. And I'm like, yay! Just popping up. And because the experience is amazing. And so you know, I'm in the middle of trying to get my finances just to get enough money to do what I know what I have to do. I've already have a little bit of guidance. It's from nobody on this plane here who is saying this is next, and it's like okay, but do you realize I'm in a fucking physical body and Saturn is square Uranus right now on top of my moon, and and they're like, yeah, that's all. Will you please learn how to breathe and do yoga, and the thing that I need to do is just like it's a drastic change. I mean, getting into the physical realm where now this is really tough because most people that you run into here are, you know, can't be trusted, like I said on the one video, and I don't like saying that. I'm like this naive child that just trusts and everybody is our long lost friend, but I know better than that though. Really, I do. I stay out of trouble, but anyway, God, thank you for listening. I need to start thinking about doing sections of this experience that I've had, and what I've learned, and what I'm still learning, coming better into view for people to better understand, to better be able to articulate it. And so this video is going to go on one of my playlists where I'm trying to explain what I've gone through, but it's kind of some months after, but I'm gonna, it's my third eye looking into, and I'm still um, understanding through, babes, the English alphabet. Okay, the basic words that everybody in the world had to learn, right? There's a reason why. It's an interfacing system sent from outer space. For what? The human organism here. It's a trip. Hard to get into the intricacies of like each race and what they're doing here. And it doesn't have to be a bunch of war. This is where the problem is. We're not alone here, and the human organism is sent from outer space too. It's here, doing something of this realm and the entire universe as far as we know it, like as we know it, like when we get these cameras and stuff, really, what do we know of it? Except for that, what's in front of our face, like, okay, here's a pencil and a pair of scissors, you know? Uh, so, and other things too, I mean, everything, really, everything that we can perceive. Um, the interfacing system is trying to help bring our perception up into the third dimension, all three dimensions, and to just kind of run over it, because inside of this, looking at it, babes, I want to say my teacher, when I first saw him, he kind of teaches some of it, looking at it and wondering where he's getting his information. He claims he gets downloads too. He says that he's saying gosh, I can't remember what I was about to say. It was kind of difficult talking with him. It's difficult talking with a lot of people, isn't it? Nowadays, since the COVID-19, I mean, isn't it weird nowadays? I mean, fine, or whatever, good. I'm an 11, and anyway, part of the 144. I'm chosen. I'm a warrior. And what I've been chosen to radiate is this understanding. So, yeah, that's what I was trying to say about my teacher. He says he was so staunch about, you know what, you need to start wanting to understand something deeper. Just start to start fitting the keys in order to start really seeing, even even just to learn how to read, right? It's like there's something to understand here, and they start teaching you to read. But we're talking about how about the art of seeing birds in the word. Seeing, now when I say that, what I'm saying is seeing things that are out in virgin territory that we know. It doesn't have to be virgin territory. No. See, this is where I need to get my language down to start telling how it is, and it's taken nearly 2 years to clarify even to myself, what the fuck do I mean? You know what I mean? I don't mean English language. I just, no, it's English alphabet, the symbols. They've taken our symbology away, and so we're just like, literally. Anyway, thanks for listening to this. I need to write several books, but this is one thing that it's just, it'll come in time, I suppose. You know, because I do question it, but no, there's babes. The English alphabet is now this thing that I figured out and that we could see. It's there. It's a it points at. This is what mainly we keep being told is it's just a pointer. Okay. Also, when you bring up the talk is here too, and this is what's really trippy. It's so intertwined. When you start fitting the keys, just try to find birds in the word, but really it's They picked this. I'm beginning to understand this. They picked me. I was chosen because I understand energy, frequency, and vibration. I'm a musician. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Listen to this melody. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the sky so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. HIJKLMNOP. You hear what I'm saying? Can you? Now, think a little deeper. You have to want to understand something a little deeper. I didn't make up that song. Somebody's making shit up for us. There's a lot here to help us. There's a lot that we can cure ourselves with, but this thing that is inside the math that is inside the alphabet. Now, what I'm talking about, and this is a long ass video, isn't it? Not even talking about narcissists. Poor things. And the poor people, they get hung up on people. Get into that subject matter later. None of them are real. Anyway, the words. Everybody has to learn Chinese, Guam, Turkey. Everybody has to learn this English language, which if you think deeper about it, we all have to learn these certain things, right? You have to get it right. Where we put the word the, and at, and when, and where, and there, and the. You know what I'm saying? He, she, we. The standard things. The math is in there. The math is just saying this is energy. This is not here unless there's men and women. What else do you see a lot? That's basically it. Just this is energy, and this isn't here unless you're here. And then when you get into upper spectrum, I mean, really, when you start looking at it, it's telling me, and it'll tell you, it's something it's a medicine, and I'm pretty sure it'll do the same for anybody who wants to understand something deeper. It's kind of tough. It's really tough to see what has happened to civilization because, first of all, nobody knows what they're talking about. I mean, they're talking, and when they're looking at the letters and things, the way that it's written, it's not right. It's not right. They've taken away. You see, we have words, swords, but anyway, words made out of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, this just straight line, and it's double-edged. It has an upper spectrum, capital letters, and it has a lower spectrum. They took away the symbology of the capital lettering, and especially the vowels and all of that. They took away the upper spectrum and gave us the fucking shite. Either that or we just don't know yet. No, because I'm seeing evidence even today that they are, well, we're just going to eliminate that word. We're not saying it like that anymore. And some people are saying words in some ways. It's like, wait a minute, why did you say it like that? That's not even a word. I don't think I'm making this up, babes. My grandmother, she's pretty fucking smart, and we live up in the wilderness, and when water is safe to drink out of a stream or something, it's called, or it's safe to cook with, it's called potable. Potable. Why? Well, because you could put it in, you're able to put it in a pot. Potable. Well, Now, people are saying this is potable water. Potable? I almost want to hit myself in the head. I heard somebody said some other words like that the other day. I mean, these are like multi-millionaires, non-human, by the way. And they said something, and I almost fell backward. I don't know what it was, but I thought, did you mean to say it? I was working for them at the time. I was like, oh my good God. So much went through my mind there. I had to eat some fucking dried seaweed after that or something to get back on my electrical track. Anyway, I not just for the way that I can draw out the words and create. I call it. Now I'm understanding. I'm just still learning all this. So anyway, I go into trance, but I do that with other things. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, when do you not have to go into a certain mode of mentality to do things? So I'm just noticing it. I noticed that as a live performing artist playing guitar or something. Each instrument has their own uh, personality or ego. To tell you the truth, really, like I'm playing the drums. Animal plays the drums. Just hurry up! Will you get it on time? And it's even though um, everybody has to wait for the drummer to set up. They are the most impatient people. And the bass player, they're kind of cool. Just cool and in the background, and you'd think, right? And that's really what happens. I mean, it's not all about the detail, man. Lay off a little bit. So that's a cool personality too. But I am mainly known for my lead guitar. And those people, just get your shit together, man, and I'll fucking got it. Kind of like the singer, but better. I'm not Anyway, thanks for listening to all this, you guys. Downhorn Entertainment. You can look through my playlist there, trying to talk about this, but it's refining itself. I call myself Shauna the Refinery Wyatt.